You're watching Working with Users in KaiNexus. In this video, we're going to be covering how to find users in the system, how to add and remove users, and how to move them around between departments and work groups. In order to add, remove, or move users in the KaiNexus system, you need to be an administrator. To access the area of KaiNexus where you can manipulate users, you'll need to click the Reports button in the top navigation bar. Then you'll see your network chart over on the left. Below the network chart is the Find User button. To look up any user in the system, all you need to do is click Find User and type in the name of the person that you're looking for. You can search by first name, last name, or email, and you can also filter by department or work group. If we click on Pam's name, we'll be taken to her user profile. If we wanted to add a new user to the system, we'd simply click on the area we'd like to add them to. For example, if we wanted to add a user to the Emergency North department, we'd click on Emergency North, and then we'd click the plus button. We'd then select to add a user. We're required to enter in a username and a name, and we have the option to enter in an email address. The username will be what's entered when the user logs into KaiNexus. Typically, that's an email address. By choosing to link an email address with your user's account, you're giving them the ability to get notifications and reminders from KaiNexus. So if your users have email addresses, it's important to link them to their accounts so they get the full benefit of the KaiNexus system. If your users don't have email addresses, it'll be up to you to activate their accounts and let them know what their usernames and passwords are. If you click on Title or Position, you can enter in that information for your user to complete their user profile. You also have the option to enter in phone numbers for your user. If you click on Status, you'll see you have the option to make your users active and suspended. If you enter in a user as active, they'll receive an email from KaiNexus welcoming them to the system with instructions on how to activate their accounts. Entering users in a suspended status allows you to add them to the system without giving them the ability to log into KaiNexus, and no automated emails are sent. This is useful if you want to set up your KaiNexus environment before inviting all of your users to participate. If you click on Employment Status, you can select whether your employees are full-time, contractors, or temporary. That list is customized to your organization. Down at the bottom, you can determine whether or not your user is an administrator. By making someone an org admin, you're giving them the permissions to edit all of the configuration options for the entire organization. By making them a department admin, you're giving the user the ability to edit all the configuration options for their own department. You also have the option to make your users KaiNexus leaders. A KaiNexus leader has the same permissions as a department leader does in the system, so they can help manage the improvement work of their entire department. If you'd like your users to self-manage their own work, you can allow them to self-assign their OIs. If this person is part of your implementation team, helping you set up KaiNexus and get all of your other users acclimated, you'd want to select the implementation team box. When you're finished, be sure to click Save. If you'd like to add a user to a specific work group, rather than just into the department, just click on the work group you'd like to add them to. We'll say we'd like to add a user to staff, and click the plus button at the bottom of the screen again. Then we'll click Add a User, and enter in all of the information like before. So you can add users to the system by clicking on the location you'd like to add them to, whether that's their department or their work group. To remove a user from the system, first you'll want to find that user. So we'll click Find User at the bottom of the screen. We'll search for somebody. And we'll click on their name. So let's say that Doug has left the organization. We're going to click Edit User at the bottom of the screen. And And then we'll change his status from active to inactive. Now the reason we inactivate users rather than deleting them is that inactivating them leaves the record of all the work they've done in the system. So even though Doug is going to be removed from KaiNexus and he'll no longer be able to log in, we still want to have a record of everything that he's done. All of the OIs that he's worked on, the tasks he's completed, the projects and events he's participated in. So we're going to make him inactive rather than delete him. Then we'll save the changes. If Doug were to come back to the organization, or if we wanted to re-include him in our improvement work, we click on the highest level of our network chart, and we click the Inactive Users tab. Here we can see Doug, and if we click on him, we can edit the user and change him back to active. We'll save our changes, and we'll put him back in the Emergency North department. So that's how to remove a user from the system, and how to add them back in should you decide you'd like to do that later. The last thing we're going to cover is how to move a user. So let's say that when we uploaded our network, we made a mistake, and we put Jim in the pharmacy department, but really, he belongs in human resources. To move him is very simple. All you need to do is click on his name and drag and drop him into the correct department. We'll then be asked to confirm that we'd like to move Jim to human resources, and we'll say yes. Then if we look in HR, we can see that Jim has successfully been moved.